The people who attended the book launch of True Red were there to endorse a man who took a bold step away from his former life as leader of the Mongrel Mob into a new life of Christian faith.
Kia ora everybody. I just want to welcome everybody here this evening. Thank you for coming along to support the launch of my book. But first and foremost, I want to give glory and honour to our Lord Jesus Christ.
Among the crowd were politicians, church members and people who understood the gang life which Tuhoe described in his book.
I honour this man because he revealed something that was hidden. He exposed something that was so deadly it killed you, or killed her, or killed them. You know, Māori have always been a spiritual people, but their warfare was in the wairua, it was in the spirit, the good and the bad. And that's what the Bible's saying. There's a good spirit named Jesus, and there's a bad spirit. And this man was locked up in that bad spirit, possessed him. But it only takes one power on this earth to transform a man's mind and to transform a man's heart. No government program can do that. No counselling can do it. But the love of Christ that loved this man.
What the kaupapa was about tonight, the launching of this book, I'm very proud to have known this man, 30 years ago. We walked the same hikoi, for the time and involvement I was involved, and still am involved with the Black Power gang. We walked the same kōrero. When I see this man every Saturday at the flea market, we shake hands and we kōrero. So the interaction is still happening, and I'm proud to be a friend of his. I'm proud to see the hiko that he's gone through, the changes that he's made in his life, which is a role model for the rest of us. If he can do it, hey, so can we all. Okay.
Good evening, Martin Cooper's my name, and I've had the privilege of having a good part of about 22 years of Tuhoe's life. Very briefly, my background is from the Black Power, and I met him in jail, and I got out of jail in 1983, and he got out in 1985. He walked into the gym in Tuhoe, where I was working out, and we looked at each other, coming from two different parties, and he walked up to me, and we embraced each other and rubbed noses. And folks, that was the start of our journey. I gave up the drink and the drugs and all that stuff 24 years ago. I turned my life around. As I said, and as always, I'm happy. I'm here to support you, bro. And you've done miracle things in your lives.
The Mayor of Franklin District, Mark Bell, knew Tuhoe as a gang leader.
I was policing in South Auckland for 17 years and got to know him at that stage, many years ago. And more latterly in my role as the Mayor, and over the last 3 and a bit years now, we've worked relatively closely together in terms of youth initiatives, some other justice reform initiatives that Tuhoe is focusing on. And we hear all the time the call for stiffer and stiffer sentencing, and we hear, throw away the key type mentality. And I suppose this is an absolute testament to the fact that as a community we can actually build the fence at the top of the cliff instead of that ambulance at the bottom of the cliff. So it's fantastic, Tuhoe, that you've taken the time and the effort and really reflected in True Red how and I suppose again I reiterate that in the Lord all things are possible, and it's an absolute testament to you.
In the book, Tuhoe talks about things which happened in his childhood, which distorted his view of normal behaviour. His sister Juliana spoke about her aroha for him and her sadness that she didn't realise what was happening in his life.
How sad it is, when you're not able to have somebody around to be able to go to and share, these deep mamai we call it, now in the te reo, but hurts. I'm really pleased that he's able to speak from his heart in this book, and I just trust that this will touch other people's lives too, in the spirit that it's meant to, to go out in, that they'll read it in the light that it's meant to go out in.
Thank you.
True Red co-author Bradford Harmy spoke about why the book was written and acknowledged that for many people the book will not be an easy read.
People are going to cry by it, people are going to be saddened by it, but I think a lot of people are actually going to be humbled by it. And it may be a Tuhoe story, but you know what, it's many of our stories. My personal idea to write the story with Tuhoe was not to write something where the end of the story or the end of the movie ends off still in te po, still in darkness, but to find a story that has